All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to a regular meeting of the panel of utility commissioners and staff of the Public Utilities Regulatory Authority, or PURA, held today, Wednesday, April 28th at 10 a.m. My name is Marissa Gillette. I am the chair of PURA. I'm joined today virtually by my colleagues, the Vice Chairman, Jack Bacocchi, and Commissioner Michael Karen. Today, we have a regular calendar and a consent calendar in front of us. So we will turn first to regular calendar. We have 3 items on the regular calendar, and I'll be presenting the first decision for the panel's consideration today. The first item on today's regular calendar is docket number 19-07-01 REO2, the review of statewide shared clean energy facility program requirements, the year 2 procurement. In today's decision, the authority approves with certain modifications the EDC's joint modified program requirements and year 2 request for proposals for the shared clean energy facility, or the SCEF program's year 2 procurement. In docket number 19-07-01, the authority approved with modifications DEEP's proposed SCEF requirements developed pursuant to section 16-244Z of the Connecticut General Statutes. In January of 2021, the authority reopened the docket to address potential modifications for the year 2 program procurement. The authority directed the EDCs to file updated versions of the modified program requirements and associated RFP documents, and requested written comments from stakeholders providing suggested edits for year 2. The authority then held a technical meeting on March 3rd and requested additional written comments before issuing a proposed final decision on April 7th. In today's decision, the authority addressed the multiple issues raised by stakeholders so that we can better realize the cost-effective allocation of shared clean energy facilities, provide savings to low and moderate income customers and customers in environmental justice communities, and above all else, lower barriers to entry. First, the decision seeks to reduce the confusion regarding the bid document submission process by delegating the review of site control to DEEP, and orders that all bid documents be sent to both DEEP and the relevant EDC to ensure access to the information required to complete the respective reviews. Similarly, the decision addresses DEEP's ability to request clarifying information from bidders by allowing DEEP to ask for supplemental information or documentation that is not otherwise explicitly required by Appendix B. To resolve site control concerns, the decision requests bidders and project site owners submit any available proof of site control. It requires an affidavit affirming site control as part of the bid submission. Additionally, it prohibits the EDCs from disqualifying a bid due to lack of site control unless directed to do so explicitly by DEEP. The decision also addresses complexity and risk concerns about variable bid pricing by requiring bidders to instead submit fixed pricing over the full tariff term. The decision further accommodates projects issued a partial award and SCEF solicitation in a previous year by allowing such projects to bid the remaining capacity up to 4 megawatts in subsequent solicitations. Additionally, the decision approves the year 2 SCEF price cap, as the authority was unable to justify a lower price cap based on the evidence from year 1 solicitation. The decision also authorizes bid preference of 20% for projects built on landfills or brownfields for ranking and selection purposes only. To clarify the EDC's reporting requirements, the decision orders the EDCs to continue submitting SCEF bids as a motion for the authority review and approval, and requests the EDCs provide an overview of the key data and metric from the solicitation. The decision also orders EDCs to file annual SCEF summary data not less than 60 days after the authority's approval of the selected bids. To ensure the ongoing success of the SCEF program, the decision communicates the authority's intent to retain a consultant to review the year 2 solicitation process. The consultant is expected to offer recommendations to the authority in October 2021 on potential program improvements. Finally, the decision establishes the year 2 RFP schedule and provides the approved versions of the year 2 modified program requirements, RFP, subscriber organization tariff terms agreements, and the subscriber organization rider as attachments to the decision. With that, I would recommend today's decision in docket number 190701 REO2 to the panel for its approval.
I move adoption, Madam Chairman.
Second, Madam Chairman.
Thank you. Mr. Bumpin, can you please take the roll?
Chairman Gillette,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Bukowski,
Yes.
Commissioner Karen.
Yes.
Is approved. We will next turn to the second item on today's regular calendar, docket number 20-08-03, the investigation into the electric distribution company's preparation for and response to Tropical Storm Isaias. PURA opened the investigation at the heart of docket number 20-08-03 pursuant to the General Statutes of Connecticut, sections 16-9, 16-11, and many others. PURA initially initiated this proceeding at the request of Governor Lamont to investigate the performance of both Eversource Energy and the United Illuminating Company's performance in preparation for and response to the tropical storm last August. As part of the investigation, the authority reviewed Eversource's and UI's implementation of their emergency response plans that were pre-filed with the authority in accordance with Connecticut General Statute Section 16-32E, and assessed whether the EDCs complied with the standards for emergency preparation and restoration of service established in accordance with Connecticut General Statutes Section 16-32H. The investigation looked into storm preparedness, the adequacy of staffing and equipment, communications, outage damage assessment, restoration management, and after-action reporting. A number of stakeholders assisted the authority throughout this proceeding. The Attorney General, the Office of Consumer Counsel, Connecticut Conference of Municipalities, a number of other municipalities, including Bridgeport, Westport, Newtown, Ridgefield, New Fairfield, Bethel, Monroe, and Easton, as well as other state agencies. The authority received public comment from multiple other towns, town officials, elected officials, and a multitude of customers. The authority offers our sincere appreciation for all who participated and provided evidence and comments in this proceeding, either as a party or intervener or through the public comment process. In today's decision, the authority finds that Eversource did not meet standards of acceptable performance in its preparation for and response to the tropical storm. Specifically, the decision finds that Eversource failed to take proper action in advance of the storm. Eversource failed to secure sufficient external resources in the first 48 hours of the event. Eversource failed to provide working communications channels to receive inbound communications from customers and emergency officials. Eversource failed in its duties to coordinate road clearing and other emergency response actions with municipalities. Eversource failed to provide timely and accurate communications with municipalities and customers. Likewise, the decision finds that UI failed to meet acceptable performance standards in coordinating certain emergency response actions in its service territory, most notably with respect to the city of Bridgeport. Finally, both EDCs failed to inform the authority of accidents that had occurred during the restoration process in accordance with established reporting requirements. Based on the findings, the authority, through this decision, is taking a number of immediate actions. First, the decision directs UI and Eversource to make certain improvements to their respective emergency response plans. As part of these improvements, the authority is ordering the EDCs to increase the number of line workers, damage assessors, liaisons, and other emergency response and restoration resources for responding to emergency events. The authority directs Eversource to make certain improvements so that it may better handle emergency information from community officials. The authority directs both companies to improve communications with large customers and customers with medical hardships. The authority directs both EDCs to consider catastrophic insurance plans with the Connecticut State Department of Insurance. The authority directs the EDCs to be more cost-effective in responding to storms, including enabling more thorough auditing of contractor crew timesheets. Second, today's decision orders the comprehensive management audit of both UI, Eversource, and their affiliates. The primary need for these audits is due to the deficient performance of the companies in a number of areas. The cost to perform these audits will not be recoverable from ratepayers, as the need for them directly related to the findings of unacceptable performance and imprudence in this decision. Third, to incent better emergency management and storm performance going forward, the authority, through today's decision, deems it necessary and reasonable to impose a reduction to the ROE, or the return on equity, for both Eversource and UI. This reduction is needed to align the EDC's financial incentives with performance in accordance with Connecticut General Statutes, Section 16-19 E subsection A, and to ensure the companies provide the level of emergency response that is required of them by law. As a result, the authority in today's decision imposes an indefinite 15 basis point reduction for UI and an indefinite 90 basis point reduction for Eversource. In the case of Eversource, the 15-point ROE penalty imposed after the storms that occurred in 2011 and 2012 was shown to be insufficient to ensure adequate and prudent storm performance. Fourth, the authority is announcing that it will immediately move into a reopened proceeding of docket number 20-08-03 REO1 for the purpose of considering issuing civil penalties and further enforcement orders for instances of non-compliance found during the course of today's investigation.